Hi, today we're looking at the third section of influences on business activity in the environmental influence. The learning objectives is we're looking at the possible environmental cost caused by business activity, what sustainability means, how businesses respond to it, and the advantages and disadvantages of businesses acting environmentally friendly. Quite a few key terms to go through. And a lot of them are mentioned in the learning objectives also, such as finite resources, sustainability, renewable energy. These are good terms that you can bring into your answers in exams that shows a deeper understanding of this topic. Okay, so what do we mean by harming the environment? Well, any business activity can result in damaging the environment. So even if businesses are saying that they are sort of looking after the environment, they still engage in some sort of harm to it. So even just by delivering the goods, okay, of their products, they can cause traffic congestion. They can emit harmful gases to the environment through air pollution. They can maybe create noise pollution. They're using up finite resources. So finite means resources that are going to run out. So that could be something like oil or petrol or what have you. Okay. So if I go through these in turn, okay, so traffic congestion can cause a lot of pollution, and they cause something called external costs. Okay, now what external costs are is negative things that happen to third parties. So basically people who are outside of the transaction. So let's say that you were to buy some trainers from Nike. Okay, well, Nike are going to ship those and going to get those delivered to you. Okay, well, through that process, they're going to emit some pollution into the atmosphere. Okay, and that's going to negatively impact me because there is now more pollution in the atmosphere. So even though I've not been involved in you buying trainers from Nike, I'm impacted it because of the external costs that you've created by getting those shipped and the air pollution being caused. Okay. So air pollution can be caused in many ways. Okay, agriculture contributes to it, manufacturing, transporting goods, power stations. So if I just show you a diagram on the next slide, that will sort of visually show you how air pollution is caused. So as you can see there, it can be maybe caused by natural things, but it can also be created through manufacturing, through agriculture, and through power stations too. Noise pollution can also harm because, again, these create external costs. So let's say a private investor has decided they're going to build a brand new shopping centre in Llanidloes. Well, the building of that shopping centre, even though you're not involved in sort of paying for it or buying the shopping centre, there's still going to be a lot of noise created from building it. Okay, so that creates an external cost for you, but it also creates external costs to wild animals. Okay, and maybe clearing some land for it will threaten their survival. It's also going to maybe increase sort of more traffic coming in, which is going to create more noise. Using up finite resources, so using up resources that are going to run out. So oil, coal, gold, zinc. Okay. Once these have run out, alternatives are going to have to be found. Okay, and potentially we're going to run out of natural gas by 2050. So that's not too long away now. Okay, so us as people and businesses have to think of alternative ways of how we're going to address this issue and to be sustainable and look at ways of using renewable energy. So sustainable methods of production are those that can continue in the long term without damaging the environment too much. So businesses and us can look at using renewable sources of energy, trying to use transport that does not cause pollution, using recycled or renewable materials or making goods, and making goods without chemicals that damage the environment. So how can businesses do this? Okay, so a few have already been mentioned, but like using renewable energy, using biodegradable packaging, so packaging that is going to go back into the earth and renew. Fair trades, and that often uses less intensive farming and maybe uses less pesticides, which harms the environment less. Minimizing wastes, making sure they recycle, and an efficient use of water. So the advantages of this is not only is it going to help the world and help the environment and lower pollution levels, but it's also going to lead to the business having a good reputation and most probably attract more consumers to buy their products. And maybe as employees, you would be motivated to work for a business that is wanting to look after the environment. However, the drawbacks of this is that it can often lead to higher costs. So if you're looking at sort of more energy efficient methods, that might mean buying brand new machinery or getting from brand new suppliers, or training your employees to be environmentally friendly. So this can lead to more cost, and as a result, the business is going to pass on those costs to consumers and going to lead to higher prices. And potentially, if they're having to change a supplier or maybe use recycled sources, you could potentially say that they might lead to lower quality products, even though you're paying higher prices. So these are some of the questions today that I want you to run through and answer in your book. Okay, thank you very much.